Hello everyone, Colin Canet here for Woodwork Web. Today we're going to build this versatile stand to hold our wood turning tools. So sit back, relax, and watch as we make this great little stand. Well, let me show you quickly what's driving this project here today. This is my box for keeping all of my turning tools in, and you can see it's not very good. But it even gets worse because some of these tools that I purchased some time ago are carbide tipped, and you never want to get carbide to touch or hit steel because it's just like crystal. It will actually crack or chip or break, and that's why they come with these kind of covers. So it really is important. In order to get some idea of the backing size, what I've done is I've just taken some rough material, and you can see it's pretty rough, and made some cutouts on it, and that's given me a starting point on how big the back needs to be. So what I'm going to do is quickly trim this down, and I'm going to coat it with an amber dye so that it gives a good contrast between the tools and the back so that they stand out. So I'm going to do that, and when we come back we'll be able to get started on doing some more permanent ones of these. I'm over at the drill press. I've installed my 1-inch Forstner bit, and I've marked off all the places. I just need to drill all the holes now. Now the last hole requires a little bit bigger, and in this case I'm using my 1 3/8 hole saw, and I'm using my new Freud quick release, so it's going to be easier to get the plug out of this one. I love that. Now I've moved over to the table saw because I need to cut this strip off so that the little hold-ons will go on there. And I've had to remove my safety guard on here because I'm working in close quarters and it doesn't fit in there. So I'm going to make 2 cuts. First of all, we'll cut that off, and then we'll cut it to length. Okay, and back to the drill press. I've changed my Forstner bit now to a 7/8 size, 7/8 of an inch. I've moved over to my router table now because I'm going to put a little bit of an indent in there, and I've put a cove bit, and we'll show you a close-up of that. And that's what that bit looks like, and what I'm going to do is drop the holes that I've cut over top of that, and it will ream out the inside of the holes. And the thing I like about this technique is because there's a bearing on top the router bit, and that's important, it's trapped in there so it can't go anywhere. And that's what that does. I'm going to carry on and do all the rest of them, and when we come back I'll show you detail of that. And there's what that router bit does. It carves out that area in there, and you can see I've sanded this one so that you can see you can see all the threadies from this one. I still need to sand yet, but I wanted to show you what it looks like when the tools, there's the bottom of the tool, and it just drops in and just seats nicely. Now I'm over at the sliding miter, and I'm about to cut the top and bottom, and I'm going to cut them to length. I'm going to gang cut them so that I get them exactly the same length. And I've already lined them up on the edge there, and I just need to use my finger to make sure that they're equal. I've already lined up the line. I'm just double checking it, and well, for the assembly, I'm going to use my doweling jig. It's quick and easy and does a really strong joint. So I've got all my pieces marked. As you know, those of you who follow me know I've marked my face sides with blue tape so it stands out to me so I don't drill things wrong. And I'm going to be drilling into the edge of some of these boards. I'm going to be drilling into the length of some of these boards. And I discovered on the Dowelmax website, because you have to reset these collars from time to time to get the right length, because of course you don't want to drill through these, and when you're drilling into the wood you want to drill a little bit deeper. But a little depth gauge setter, and you just turn this little screw thing here, and there's little markings inside, and you put that, loosen that collar off, and you can reset your collar quickly and easily. So anyway, let's start drilling some holes. So I've just reconfigured my doweling jig, and I'm going to drill 1, 2, 3, and then move it over and do a 4th hole. And that pin lines up into that hole, and that allows me to make sure that last hole is perfectly set. Okay, to the other side. Now I've just reconfigured, taken the parts off the jig here and reconfigured it so that I can do the end grain. Okay, I get to use my assembly jig that we made a few weeks ago. So let's check this out and see if this all comes together the way it should. Now I've taken a minute to trim down the bottom holder for the turning tools, the gouges and so on. And I took a minute to trim the back that we've already put some dye on. So that's going to sit at a bit of an angle, but there's a way that we need to hold that. And my plan here is I've made these a couple of sticks here that I can use as a backer plate. And my whole plan with this stand here is that in the event that I add a tool or change a tool, I want to be able to adjust this down here and the top, the matching top. So rather than glue everything together, the outside frame is all glued together, but rather than glue all of these parts together, I'm going to use, I've got some lovely little brass screws left over from another project, and I'm going to use those to fasten this down. It doesn't need to be really super strong. It's just holding up a few tools. So I'm going to fasten that down, and then we'll put this on. I've got the sides to put up, so we'll do all that, and we'll just work as we move along here. Well, there's our rack, and it works fine because the tools are all leaning back. But I also wanted to put just a little twist on there, a little piece of wood that you could turn like that to pull the tools out, just so that just a little bit of extra protection so they don't flop out somehow. Okay, so I put the cleat on the top, and you can see how that's angled, so I can put another cleat on the wall, and that I can hang it off that. And now I can put all my pieces back here. Nothing fancy, just a place to store things that I otherwise have no other place to put. And now we can put the tools in. It's always nice when you get to move out of the cardboard box and into a proper storage thing. Look at that, that looks great. There we go. There you go, and those stay in there nice like that. I got a place to hang them. They're nice and sturdy on the workbench. What a handy little tool rack. Perfect. Well, that completes my video on making the little lathe wood turning rack. And for me, it turned out perfect. You know, there's a million different designs out there, but this is a combination of a couple that I saw, and it stands on the bench. It's nice and steady, it stands, but when I'm not using it, I can hang it on the wall. It's quick and easy to do that, and stores everything, and now I don't have to worry about my carbide tools getting crashed, getting damaged. So all in all, just a great little rack. I'm pretty happy with it, and I just like the design of it, how with the dark finish it kind of makes the tools stand out a bit, so even looks nice. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, I ask you to do that. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and stay tuned because I got lots more videos coming your way.